Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you are new to the channel, welcome to you too as well. We look forward to having you around for a bit longer. And we're going to talk about all sorts of interesting subjects, everything from relationships, current events, other things like that. And we try to take it from a standpoint of being as realistic, fair, and honest, and just asking honest and objective questions as much as we possibly can. So, stick around. We're going to dive right into it. And on that point of asking fair, objective, and honest questions, we're going to tackle a subject that has been suggested to me a few times by several different people. One in particular recently, where they wanted me to cover the jab. And we all know what I mean. The jab from the bug, as presented to us by all our lovely uh, people like Pfizer and Moderna and pretty much everybody out there wanting to make a buck off of human suffering, or in this case, in many ways, manufactured human suffering. We all know about the lab in Wuhan. We all know that if you're in any way somebody who's been living without your head stuck in the sand, you know that our government is not honest in any way, shape, or form. They have a tendency to lie to us about pretty much anything whatsoever, and you really have to look past all of it to figure out who's going to gain the most, what type of control they're going to garner over this, and really learn to discern and break it down that way. Because if you don't do it, you never really get a sense of what's really true. The only way to do that is to look at it from the objective viewpoint of who stands to gain. And when it comes to the jab, I've had many stories kind of come across in front of me where people have talked about loved ones, people that they've cared about, developing health issues, sicknesses, diseases, heart issues, um, potentially strokes or other effects like that from uh, having received the jab. And then one in particular that caught my attention happened in Europe, I believe, just within about a year or two of it initially being introduced. A woman who had been doing modeling. I believe she was in her 30s. I'm not going to drop her name here. If you do a little bit of research, you will find out exactly who this is. She got to a point where, after having, I believed, receiving one jab and one booster, ended up so incredibly ill, so incredibly compromised, I think in her immune system, if I recall, that she couldn't live her life. She couldn't get out of bed. She couldn't function. But this was required so that she could continue to make a living as a model, and a fairly prominent one. She got to the point where she realized that this was not even possible and decided to self-delete at a place in Switzerland that allows for such a thing, that it does assisted versions of that. And when you think about that, when you think about the fact that there are so many accounts of this popping up all over the place, and it is getting downplayed to the point to where you're not allowed to even talk about it. Like, basically, you're an outlaw if you're even speaking about this in an objective sense where you question the narrative at all. Which, that is part of what I'm trying to bring up in this video, is anytime anytime that we're in a situation where it is being so heavily pushed that you are not allowed to have an objective, even questioning opinion, not even getting to the point of being dissenting about it, which you might very well get to, but any point where that is happening, we must come to the conclusion that we must resist. We must resist anytime we are being presented with something where even questioning, even examining, even being objective and scrutinizing about it is being turned into something that's illegal because you're supposed to accept the narrative being handed to you. I think it is an imperative thing that we must resist. We must challenge that. We must bring it up even more, because there's absolutely no reason that something that is genuine, honest, and reasonable can't be questioned. that it cannot be dragged into the open and at least objectively just faced and talked about openly. And that's really the cause behind, I think, a lot of this. It isn't just the damage it's doing to people's personal lives. And as always, in the comments, I want to hear y'all's experiences, what you've been through with this, family members, friends, people that you've heard about that have gotten the jab and ended up far worse off than any bug ever could have made you. But really, it's the narrative behind it and the fact that the massive amount of pressure, canceling people, trying to basically ostracize them from our society, from our culture, shut them down, prevent them from having a voice, and censor them in every way, shape, or form. That's something that absolutely must always be fought back against, because if it's something that's real, it can be verified at some point. If it's something that's really honestly, truthfully something that we should be concerned about, objective opinion about it should always be the forefront. And it's just amazing to me how many people are so willing to buy into the line, the party line of, well, no, these are the facts. Questioning it is a crime. And I try not to ever be political about this, but I have noticed that particularly when it comes to people on the left in politics here in the United States, they've gotten very much to the point of despotism, where it's absolutely, you're not even allowed to question the narrative handed to you, or you're somehow a conspiracy theorist, or you're somebody that they need to silence. They fear your free speech. The people that claim to be the progenitors of free speech fear it more than anything and actually want to get rid of it, so long as it doesn't line up with the narrative that they want to hand out. And that is something that must always be fought. Free speech must be protected at all costs, because it is the thing that allows us to be aware when we are having something pushed on us by big pharma that is killing, harming, damaging people left and right. And we know that the effects are ill. We know they're not good. We know that there are signs of it popping up all over the place. And the real danger is the fact that any attempt to talk about it is suppressed and censored. So I have no idea exactly how this video is going to do. If you feel the same way as I do and you want to share this with other people, let's share it and get it out there all over the place. Let's be objective. Let's be straightforward. Let's be the people that dare to question when we're told, no, you're not allowed to question this. We've said it's the truth, therefore you will believe it's true. Anybody that's being genuinely honest with you never makes that demand. They never do. It works that way in relationships. It works that way in real life. It works that way with anybody that you deal with. The truth doesn't demand to be heard. It's obvious. It doesn't fear scrutiny. It willingly accepts it and embraces it. So for those of you that have had experiences with this, or experiences even being censored, talking about this, or getting in trouble, or punished in any way, shape, or form, admonished for speaking the truth about it, I want to hear your stories. Drop them in the comments. I'm not going to make this video very long. I'm going to cut it off here because I don't have too much more to add besides that. And really, I'm just interested in hearing what's going on with everybody else out there and your thoughts on this as well. So I'm going to throw in one additional thing as well. Steve James channel at gmail.com. If you have a story that's particularly longer, either about this subject or relationship experiences that you've had, divorce experiences that you've had, other things like that, you want to drop a longer story like that and you really don't want to say put it in the comments, or maybe you want to actually feature it on the channel at some point, you can reach me there at that email. And if you like this video, get it out there, share it with people. Let's get this out there in the open and talk about it. And as always, like, subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Hit the notification bell so that you see new stuff come up whenever I'm posting. And I appreciate all of you. And I really have to say, the fact that we can bring up honest topics here on this channel and try to be straightforward with each other is really a big deal to me. I appreciate it, respect it, and enjoy it every single time I get on the camera and get a chance to talk to you. It is a real privilege. So I look forward to seeing you all again and talking to you again soon. Have a great day.